How y'all doing, sweethearts? It's a beautiful day. The sun came out today. Still awfully cloudy, but hey, the sun came out. It warmed up. For a few days, we're doing good. The more we anchor more light into the electromagnetic and geomagnetic fields of the new 5D Earth grid, the New Jerusalem, the more things will continue to morph and transform. Another round of purging is coming in. You were just thinking about me, Cal. I love you, sweethearts. Big hugs and blessings. Cal, Ramazan, Julie, how y'all doing? Many are in a space of a little bit of bliss. Others are in a very emotional space right now. Hey, I'm here, Betty. I'm here, sweetheart. How you doing, Nita, Betty, Amy? Big hugs and blessings, sweethearts. Sherry, I love you guys. So how you all doing? A lot of these energies are, you guys liking this to truly, sweethearts. Anything that we're burying or denying or really is really coming down to truly trust issues or distrust issues. Ramazan, sweetheart, I do not do WhatsApp. I do not have WhatsApp. How you doing, Marlene, Dawn? Big hugs and blessings, sweethearts. And so, and this is a collective. This is truly, how you doing, Amy? This is truly a collective thing, and it really has to do with the masculine really coming into balance within the feminine essence within the physical vessel. Before you had to, on our spiritual journeys, it was a matter of really bringing them into union within ourselves, and now we're having to really release that carbon-based density of fear and abandonment and rejection and distrust between the two essences within ourselves, in our physical vessels, if you will. How you doing, Sarah and Amy, Nikki? Big hugs and blessings, sweethearts. And you're finding, sweet ones, the more you anchor in your light bodies, the more they're charged, the less sleep you require. Many are being woke up, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, that's because that is the most stillest, quietest time, if you will, to really connect with your angels, with your spirit, with your soul, with your team, and your galactic families. How you doing, Corrine? Big hugs and blessings, beautiful. And so there is so much morphing and transformation going on the physical plane, and many are channeling us, saying exactly what we've been saying, that all these celestial alignments and everything are really coming up and really bathing this planet. Solaris and the seventh central sun gates are really bathing us. The female feline, from Lyra and ancient Egypt. The United States is the new Egypt. And right now what is occurring, and we're getting a whole lot of energy from Lyra, the female felines that are really bringing that ancient old Egypt and the new Egypt into balance on the physical plane of existence, if you will. Susan just said something. Let me see what she said. How you doing, Corrine? Susan, big hugs and blessings. I went to the park this morning and really enjoyed it. The sun and trees grounded. It was amazing. Grounding is really, really necessary right now. Susan says, hi, sweetheart. We are blessed. Hubby is in ICU and got the tube out and breathing on his own. God is so good. Amen to that, Susan. Amen to that. And I will send healing. If it is for his highest good, it will be applied. That is one thing when we say prayers and we send healing for those who ask for it. It's really helpful to understand, sweethearts, that sometimes when we send prayers and healing and we do not include for the highest good of that being or the highest good of all, we're interfering with free will. Susan, I'm really grateful to hear that he's doing better, sweetheart. And again, I will send healing. If it is for his highest good, it will be applied. Beautiful. How you doing, Daniel, Nita? Big hugs and blessings, Lorraine, Karen. I find I'm isolating myself more and more, Karen says. Karen, that is something where many of us are dealing with, especially the feminine incarnates. Beautiful. That really, if you step back and detach from the emotional side of things, excuse me, you will find that that has a lot to do with the aspect of where the feminine essence, not the heart now, but the feminine essence, we've put a guard around our feminine essence. And this goes for the masculine incarnates as well. You know, for them, maybe they've put a guard around their masculine essence or their feminine essence within them, you know, and this is really part of this trust thing, if you will. Everything comes down to abandonment, rejection, and denial, sweethearts, all of it. And every single one of those is tied into trust or distrust, just like you have a choice, fear or love. And really that is what is being presented for every one of us, whether they are on the spiritual journey and awakening to all that they are, or if they have still chosen to remain asleep in the karmic wheel of reincarnation. And when you can observe all of these emotions and things that are arising, and you can see beyond the physical, sweethearts, and you will be able to observe truly where you're still feeling not accepted. Whether that's by yourself, because it always comes down to ourself. And you're not being accepted by your family, your lover, the so-called twin flame, your spiritual groups, you know, whatever it may be, society, whatever it may be. And that is really what is coming up. And that acceptance is part of distrust. That is where, you know, you're still feeling that you have to protect not your heart necessarily. Your hearts we have done so much healing work within our hearts. Our hearts are open. Now it's just releasing the darkness, the carbon-based density, because that's all it is. It's just lack of information. That's all darkness is. And with all this light that's light-encoded filaments, it's really bathing the earth and bathing our vessels. It's just bringing up the carbon-based density, those emotions of the past that are no longer serving the highest good of ourselves or the highest good of the collective of all. Karen, I'm very happy alone. I'm free. And you know, that too is an imprint of with this acceptance and guarding our feminine essence from trusting the masculine fully, because there's still ties to the past of being hurt, of, you know, the feminine really creating distrust with the masculine really creating distrust within the feminine. And so being alone, our natural state of being, sweethearts, is in union, within and without. And we have gotten so comfortable. We went from an energetic space of being codependent and needing somebody outside of us to, on the spiritual journey, to a space of being secluded, isolated, and alone. And it was necessary for us to be alone because, again, of that codependency. And the only way to really overcome and to heal our hearts was to really be in a space of aloneness. Now, not everyone on the spiritual journey has gone through that. But even if they have been in a partnership, a marriage, whatever it may be, and they went and still go through periods of feeling alone and being alone, regardless if there's 1,000 people around them, they still feel very isolated and alone. How you doing, Beth? Mind Art. How you doing, sweethearts? I love you. And so it's the codependency that's being released. That's the issues that are coming up, and that again has to that too ties into acceptance and non-acceptance and trust and distrust and abandonment, rejection and denial. And you're going to find more and more as the feminine unguard their essence, the fact that they are a woman, that we do have emotions, that we are very intuitive. And again, I'm talking about the essence within all of us, masculine or feminine, not necessarily just the feminine incarnates. And as we do that and open our hearts more to trusting, and this is really key here, sweethearts, this is where, regardless of the past, you have to allow the past to be done. You have to be willing, if you have chosen to bring forth an old relationship into the higher frequencies. We're in a space where we have to allow the past to be the past, regardless of what our partners have done, whether that's been reject us, deny us, abandon us, hurt us, whatever it may be. We have to be willing to, because we've moved into a new harmonic frequency, we have to be willing to say, okay, let's have a new beginning. Let's build this up on a new foundation. I forgive you for all the past, and I am once again going to extend my trust to you. And so we can do that and begin again. And as with anything on this spiritual journey, the feminine essence has to take the first step. And once she takes that first step within herself, mind you, I'm talking energy, the essences, and as within, so without. And once she does that within herself, the masculine essence will then step up. Once the queen takes her step forward, then the masculine will step up to meet her. And this is where we're really having to let go of those guards of our essences, both the masculine and the feminine within, and in our relationships without, and how we deal with them. And rather than, continuing in those same energies, well, you did this in the past, I know you're going to do it again. A big example of that is cheating. Say you're in a relationship or a marriage and you're not willing to give up on it. You really feel that in these new harmonic frequencies that it can be better. Well, it's not going to be better and be able to be built on a new foundation, a secure foundation, if you will, if you're still not extending that trust to the partner, because even though we're in a new harmonic frequency, you still hold a fear or doubt that he may cheat on you again. That is not giving yourself the chance to grow from within yourself. You are not the same person you were when you started your journey, and neither is your partner or lover or spouse or anything else. And those spouses and partners that have started their journey, whether they're as far awake as you or more enlightened than you, whatever it may be, you're going to know whether or not your soul has chosen for that relationship to move forward in a higher frequency harmonics. And you're going to know if it's not. If they're not on the spiritual journey and you are, and they've chosen not to awaken, you're going to know. And so that's where all of this carbon-based density is presenting itself in experiences in your emotions that are coming up, and there's no longer the opportunity that you can bury these emotions or that you can ignore them and no, that's just my family, no, that is just how they are, yada yada yada. It's always about something within yourself. If you're still seeing in your families and stuff like that, things that upset you. They don't accept you. Again, that's an energy within you that's a carbon-based density that we're releasing as a collective. And that's why it's always about us, because we do release that from the collective is through our individual selves and experiences. And so a lot of that is going to be presenting itself. Another wave is incoming, and it's really just a matter of letting the old go and really giving yourself the honor and the congratulations. You have come too far to continue. You have walked through the fires of hell, sweethearts, and you're at the golden gates. And right now you're being asked, why are you continuing to fight to hold on to that which you have walked through the fires of hell to release and let go of? And really, that's what this is coming down to. And, why put all the effort and the work into walking through those fires of hell repeatedly just to hang on to it and keep walking through those fires of hell? Right now we're being presented, are you done walking through the fires of hell? And the only way to be done with it is to truly forgive the past and let it go, and really allow yourselves to be new. And sweethearts, you've come too far. So truly, really, this is all given us all opportunity to really show us where we're still holding on and not leaping into the new, that we're still fearing it, and we're still in a space of holding ourselves back because it's still a little more comfortable to remain in that fear. And as this stuff comes up to be purged and released, you're really going to find that if it is buried, you're going to end up spiraling. The straitjacket will get tighter and tighter until you do face it, if you will, and release that carbon-based density. And if you're able to release it, you're going to find a much more rapid transformation going on in the physical aspect of plane of existence for each individual. And the more we release of this, of the carbon-based density, and anchor more and more of our light bodies into the electromagnetic and geomagnetic fields of this planet, the more the outside will rapidly change as well. And there is much going on the physical plane of existence right now. And that too is transforming rapidly. Crystal says, I've been noticing more men coming to peace with their feminine attributes. It's awesome. Now we must trust that the Great Spirit is working through them and place our faith and trust in that fact. Absolutely. And many of the masculine, if you will, their solar plexus are being fully opened. This is, and for the masculine aspect, incarnates and the masculine essence within ourselves, this is really where the solar plexus is fully being opened for them. And the solar plexus is all about your will, all about your self-confidence, all about your power center, and all about control. And for the masculine aspect of all of us, not just the incarnates, control has been a very big thing to let go of, and that again is tied directly into trust and distrust. Because it is only when you're in a space where you do not trust that you have to control it. That you try to control an outcome. You try to emotionally manipulate an outcome in your relationships, especially your intimate relationships, romantic intimate relationships. And this is where, again, really trust comes in. And as much as the masculine has abandoned, denied, and rejected the feminine, so too has the feminine done so to the masculine. And this again is where yes, on your journeys, we've opened our hearts, but yet we still haven't taken that armor down from around our vessels. And until we can really extend that trust and let the new be new, with no attachments to, well, in the past you acted this way, in the past you did that. Unless you can give yourself a new start, how can you extend that new start to somebody else outside of you, whether it's your partner, your husband, your lover, whatever it may be? And so those are the energies that are being presented right now. And, you know, it's really easy for us to sit there and say, I forgive you, until you're presented with it. And you're presented with the opportunity to truly give them a new start. And then you will see just where you truly have not forgiven. Because it's easier to say it. It's a whole nother thing to have it truly done within through the heart. And so as all these carbon-based density energy comes up to be purged, sweet ones, you know, if you allow ourselves to, if we allow ourselves to observe, it truly is tied in now down to trust and non-trusting. And so in order to have that clean slate, that clean canvas, everything that you have walked through the fires of hell repeatedly for, everything that you have died 1,000 deaths doing, truly, in order for it to manifest on the physical plane of existence, you have to open your heart fully to the vulnerability of trust and knowing that your heart cannot be broken. Love is never in vain, sweethearts. Love is always in love. John says, my twin beat me regularly, then said she doesn't believe in twins and blocked me on Facebook. Hey, John, I don't know when that happened, sweetheart, but I'll say this. That's not an aspect of you. That's something she has to heal within herself. And, you know, there's always 3 major stepping stones to get to the divine consort. You got to go through the twin flame. You got to go through the twin soul before you can ever get to the divine consort. And that is, you know, where they're blocking or this, that, or the other. That's just showing truly another stairway on the stairway to heaven. That's why they call it a stairway. It's all baby steps. It's a stairway of frequencies. And every frequency you step up to, you got 7 layers and 7 levels to go through. That hidden power of 7. It's a beautiful thing. Excuse me. Can you see the ship? I don't know if you can see it or not. If you notice, disclosure, the higher in frequency you rise yourself to, the more disclosure is available to you. As with anything, disclosure is a frequency. And there is, you know, you can connect again to Sirius, you know, to the Andromedans, to the Pleiadians, Lyrans, Orions, well, Centaurian. You can connect to any one of them right now. The energies are right there. Your gifts and your abilities are activated fully. It's just a matter of you recognizing them and practicing them, and you know, practice just like you practice at a sport or piano playing. The more you practice with your gifts and your abilities, the more they will enhance and magnify. And the more you do that, the more it connects, again, your light body into the electromagnetic and geomagnetic fields of the New Jerusalem, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so, you know that the next 11 days are going to leading us up to the total lunar eclipse is really going to be an intense period of releasing carbon-based density. And the more, sweethearts, that we can really stay grounded, stay in our hearts, not emotionally react, really observe where we still have judgments and reactions, and neutralize and harmonize that, and let everything truly be new, more rapidly transform the physical plane of existence. Right now, it is all about each of us using our will to morph the physical plane of existence. You know, I made a post, you want this earth ship to warm up, will it? You guys are in charge of it. You guys are commanding this earth ship, this new Jerusalem, with your light. And so the more you participate in the higher frequencies of yourself that is trying John G's, it's Indian, sweetheart, it really truly is. You'll see by February 1st. It's Indian. And well, it's Indian as we've known it to be. And in every day, more and more, you can see that. And yes, you're going to find that there is going to be a great let there be light. And the earth will be turned into light. And that is rapidly occurring, more than the human can really wrap logic around. And so you're going to see that will occur before the end of the month. And that's a very beautiful thing. And so it's all right here. It's just a matter truly of allowing the old to be the old, to stop carrying the weight of the old, the past. Thank you for warming Texas. I think we both did that, John. Because it's been cold here. And the more you truly allow the old to be old, to stop carrying the emotional burdens of the old faulty masculine programming, humanity has been enslaved and that has been deactivated. And the more you can participate and build and focus on the new higher harmonic frequencies, again, sweet ones, the more that will rapidly manifest the new Jerusalem on the physical plane of existence. Oh, Sarah's in Wyoming. I'm from Montana, Sarah. And it's been fairly cold there. So really just, let us focus on building the new. Focus on the new and truly allow the weight of the old and the emotional burdens of the past to go, sweet ones. Because the more you do, the more you physically anchor the heavenly realm frequencies here in the physical plane of existence. And the more all of us, when two or more are gathered, the more we all do that increases the rapidness, if you will. And so really that's what you're looking at for the next 11 days, wave after wave of ever increasing intensity as we continue to I heard the birds release the carbon-based density from our vessels and from this planet, the surface of this planet. So, dance and celebration, sweethearts. It truly, truly is. The more we can stay in that space of bliss and joy, the more you're going to find that balance that we have achieved within of the masculine feminine union and sacred union within ourselves is going to show in all life forms on the physical and in your individual personal relationships. And you're going to find, because our natural state of being is in union within and without, you're really going to find that is really going to you're going to start coming into unions and gatherings with your soul tribes on the physical, rather than just in social media, just in social media groups. And And this is again where trust is really going to have to come in, because on the physical plane we're gathering, and we're each individual unique expressions, and if you cannot trust yourself and with your own familial and intimate relationships, you're certainly not going to be able to gather in a community to work as a community, because you won't be able to trust those that you work with. And so this again is affecting all of us, that which comes up. And so the more we open our hearts to trust within and to each other without, the more we will morph through our will to have it morph on the physical plane of existence. And it is our will right now that's doing it. So let's dance, let's party, and let's release the carbon-based density and anchor in our light fully. And let's move this, let's get this earth ship in celebration. I love you, sweet ones. Have a magical, magical day. Danielle says, I have no energy. Danielle, ground, sweetheart. Go outside and hug a tree for 10 minutes, and you will get energy back. If you're finding yourself very scattered, very confused, very emotional, that is all showing you signs of not being grounded. And the more how you doing, Stephanie? Big hugs and blessings, beautiful. I just love her. If you guys aren't familiar with what amazing Stephanie does, you really need to check out her page. She is incredible. And again, if you're finding yourselves very emotional, very unstable, very confused, very in that swing of that pendulum back and forth of, in peace 1 minute, an emotional wreck the next, that's all showing you that you're ungrounded. And as long as you're in an emotional space, you are not hearing your spirit. Spirit works in calm and peace. Spirit, you can only hear spirit in calm and peacefulness. Spirit does not work in urgency. Spirit does not work in warning. Spirit does not work in emotions like that, nor does it work in fear. And it cannot be recognized in those spaces of frequency. So, my cat, straight foot on your pig. Cats are very prevalent right now. The felines are really bathing this planet and each of us with a whole lot of feminine energy, and it's beautiful. And you can call upon the beings of Venus and the Venus Lioness to really surround any experience or circumstance that you're in, and really bathe it with unconditional love and have the highest outcome for all parties, all tribes, all persons within the experience, for their highest good, to have the greatest outcome for everyone's highest good. That will also assist as you transform your intimate and familiar relationships through these next 11 days, sweethearts. And so, I love you too, Michelle. Let's see, what did I miss here? Ride the roller coaster, absolutely. And, we got this hand in hand, sweet ones. Anything we do individually for ourselves, we're affecting everybody. That's whether good, bad, or indifferent, And so it's a constant need of truly grounding yourselves. You're coming into the understanding that you never fell from grace. And with that understanding you never fell from grace, that's again where you truly have to allow that emotional baggage and those weights that you've been carrying on your shoulders to go. Because that's all again tied into trust and distrust, abandonment, rejection, and denial. And tied into that experience of us availing ourselves to come down into the lower frequency, distorted frequencies, to assist Gaia as conduits to release the karmic energies within her. So we never fell from grace, sweet ones, and all the hurt and the pain and the fear is directly tied into being veiled into believing that we had fallen from grace. So really, it's just now a matter of letting it go. Amazing, Stephanie. That's wow, because my 6-year-old has been displaying and embodied feline actions and noises. Yes, Stephanie, I don't know if you, at the beginning of my video, I was talking about we are being bathed with the feminine feline that is directly tied into ancient Egypt. Sekhmet, from Lyra, the feline, feminine divine, is really connecting the new Egypt of the United States with the ancient Egypt and bringing that to 0 point. And so you'll notice if you have cats, they're going to be purring more loudly. They're going to be more affectionate. You're going to find they're licking you where they never would lick you before. And that is really symbolic, because when a cat licks you, that means, especially if it licks your head, your hair, or your face, that directly ties into that they have accepted you into their cat family, if you will. Because there's many of us that have had cats that don't lick you and have never licked you. But when cats lick you, the spiritual symbolism is they have offered full trust to you, and they have accepted you into their family. And you're finding, whereas many male cats would not do that, even they are doing that. And so these light-encoded filaments that are bathed in the planet, it's affecting everything and everyone. It is affecting the animals, the elementals. You will find when you go for a walk, like out here, the deer are coming up. They've always been coming into my yard, but now they're literally coming up right next to my bedroom window. Even with Snoopy, who loves to bark at them and scare them away, they're not being scared away anymore. And the higher in frequency you go to, you will find that the birds no longer fly away from you. That a bee, when it lands on you, will no longer try, it has a message, it's no longer trying to sting you. That a spider, will come up to you, and if you sit there and say, okay, only come into my presence if you have a message for me, you can spend all the time you want over in that corner over there, and I won't bother you, I won't kill you. And you only come into my presence when you have a message, and you will find that they will listen to you. And if you really take time when you spot something like that, you will see, if you stop and say, okay, everything is a message for me. What is the message of the spider? Or what is the message of that bird I seen? Or, because it always has a message. And right now, everything is being transformed. From house pets to insects to elementals. I'm wearing a Moldavite and Petalite necklace Beth Tanner had sent me, bless her heart. And Harmony, the cat that has the yin and yang in its face, she, this morning in my meditation, she came up and and they've never done that before. She literally sat there and was licking the crystals. And so they're really coming into that connection too. And so really, if you observe, sweet ones, Spirit is really coming through in a myriad of ways right now. And that is all proof that the frequency, we have risen to a new harmonic frequency bandwidth, and that truly morphing and transformation is taking place. So love whatever arises. No, it's just carbon-based density showing you where there is still energy signatures of trust issues. Truly, that's what it's coming down to now. And it's really all about extending trust out, regardless of the past experiences, regardless of a person's past history, regardless. This is where you're in a new harmonic frequency, and only each one of us individually can choose to truly step out of those old frequencies and allow everything to be brand new, regardless of the past. And that includes our interpersonal, our intimate, our romantic, our family, familial relationships in every way. And that's a beautiful thing, because when we truly can allow ourselves to be absolutely fully vulnerable, that means you're giving of your heart freely, but you're not allowing it to be taken. You're no longer allowing yourself to be codependent. You have matured in your spirituality to where now you want a partnership. You don't want a codependency. You want that interdependency, and without the control. You want that balance and harmony, and the only way you can achieve that and obtain that on the physical plane of existence is truly opening your heart to trust again and extending that trust, saying, I know the past is the past. This is all new. I'm forgiving you. Let us truly release those emotional burdens that have been weighing us down, and let's begin again. Let's start over. And when you can open your heart to that kind of vulnerability and that kind of trust, you will see it will be returned. And as within, so without. Sarah says, so show trust regardless of any history that tells your brain not to. Absolutely, because, and it's the mind, it's not the brain, Sarah. It's the mind that's been programmed. It's the brain that half of it has been shut down. Just so happens that feminine essence side was shut down. And so that's why it's necessary for the feminine aspect to take the step first. The feminine essence within us has to make that leap of faith first, has to take that leap of trust first, has to make that first step forward. And the reason or the purpose behind that is because the left brain has been in control. So the right brain that's been shut down is the feminine side of us. And so in order to anchor that right brain in, if you will, so it can balance and harmonize with the left brain, the feminine aspect has to take that step first. The feminine essence within both the masculine and feminine incarnates has to take that leap of faith first. That aspect has to step into the unknown first. And again, once the queen takes her step, the king will step up to meet her. It is she who shows he how to love. It is he who shows she how to live. And that's within and without. That is the above and the below in absolute harmony and union within and without. And so, yes, ladies that are incarnated and the feminine essence within all of us, we have to step up to the plate first. We have to take that leap. We have to extend that vulnerability. We have to extend that trust first. Because when we do, then the masculine essence within us does, and the masculine on the outside without of us does too. And that's a beautiful thing. Because for so long in the old frequencies, the women didn't do that. We kept ourselves small. We allowed the men to to determine and dictate our emotions and this, that, and the other. And right now, as much as the feminine needs the strength of the masculine needs the trust of the feminine. The masculine knows. The masculine needs to know that the feminine is willing to give her heart freely to him with the understanding and the knowing of her soul and spirit that the past is no more, and that she is willing to trust him again. And when she does that, he will open up to her just like a lotus flower, but she has to open up as a lotus flower to him. And so that's where we're at. Sarah, I don't have peace since all this started 2 years ago. I'm learning to trust my heart, or at least hear my heart, but it's not easy. Sarah, it's not easy, no. But you're not alone. We've all gone through it. And for those that are just now going through it, that's what we're here for. We're here as that shoulder. We're here to hold your hand. And we're here to show you that you can get through it, because we got through it too. So you're not alone, Sarah. And if I may encourage you, beautiful, learn to trust yourself. Because when you can trust your intuition, when you can trust your spirit, regardless of what your logical mind is going to convince you not to, when you can trust your spirit, you will open your heart to trust. And to know thyself is to trust thyself, and to trust thyself is to know thyself. Sarah, my mind is controlled and I know it, so trying to decipher anything has been exhausting. Sweetheart, try not to try, Sarah. Just try to hear your spirit. All of our minds have been controlled, and the spiritual journey, beautiful, truly is a matter of overriding the mind. Overriding your thoughts with your heart. There is a difference between emotional feelings and feelings of emotions. Emotional feelings, that which gets triggered, that which we react on. That which we blame on the outside world of others doing things to us. Those emotional feelings come from the mind, from the egoic, faulty, masculine program that humanity has been enslaved under. And feelings of emotions come from the heart. And when the feelings of emotions come from the heart, you don't emotionally react to them in anger, in hurt, in fear, in bitterness, if you will. Only those emotions from the mind do we react that way. Because love, feelings of emotions from the heart truly are love and peace and bliss and joy and happiness. And so that's really where, when you can allow your mind, your consciousness, whatever you need to for yourself, to really distinguish and observe the two when they arise. And identify, okay, is this an emotion, of fear or an emotion of love? You will come to understand and be able to distinguish right away that which is an emotional feeling and that which is a feeling of emotion. And when you can identify that, you're more able and easier, if you will, able to clear that energetic behavioral signature template that's in your cellular memory. I hope that helped. And Sarah, try staring at the flame of a candle and just keep focusing on deep prana breathing, and you will find that you'll be able to quiet that mind control a little bit easier. So enjoy your Sunday, sweethearts, and feel into the excitement, because tomorrow starts a new week. And with that new week, we got a heck of a roller coaster ride we're going to be watching as the outside physical plane of existence goes into full throttle in morphine. Have a great night, sweethearts. I love you. Big, big hugs and blessings. And Sarah, message me. Or reach out to somebody that you're comfortable with, that you know. That's what we're here for. We're here to be the pillars of peace for those that are still going through it. We're here to be that shoulder. And you're not alone. We're never alone. Have a great night, sweet ones. Bye-bye now.